Wow, what a week it's been in the world of music. I mean, it's been a total roller coaster. We've seen some of the absolute biggest names in the industry face some major setbacks. But at the same time, we've got all these fresh sounds and exciting announcements that are pointing us toward the future.
And it really makes you wonder, right? When the icons that we've followed for decades hit a rough patch, who's there to fill that void? It's a really interesting question, and we're going to explore that as we dive into this week's biggest stories.
All right, let's get into it. And I have to say, we're starting with some pretty difficult news from the world of rock and roll, and it's centered around the legendary band Kiss.
So Gene Simmons was actually in a pretty serious car crash. It happened after what's being called a medical emergency while he was behind the wheel. The good news, though, is that his wife Shannon has confirmed he's back home and on the mend. Thank goodness for that.
And you know, this isn't just an isolated incident for the band. Gene's former bandmate, Ace Frehley, also had to cancel his upcoming tour dates because he took a fall. And it's been pretty widely reported that frontman Paul Stanley is dealing with his own medical stuff that's been affecting his voice. It's just a really tough time for the original lineup, and kind of a stark reminder of the physical toll this life takes on these rock legends.
Okay, we're shifting gears now, moving from rock to hip-hop, and turning to one of the most talked about legal battles in, well, recent memory. And it has finally reached its dramatic conclusion.
And here it is. The final sentence for the disgraced artist is 50 months. That's just over 4 years in prison.
And on top of the prison time, there's a $500,000 fine. It is just such a stark outcome, and it really signifies a monumental, almost unbelievable fall from grace for a guy who was once one of the most powerful moguls in the industry.
So how in the world did we get here? I mean, this is a guy known for those lavish parties that basically built his public image. He was even acquitted of more serious charges like racketeering in a past trial. But this new verdict, on 2 very specific counts, has completely sealed his immediate future. This case is, without a doubt, a major moment of accountability in the music industry.
And the setbacks just keep coming, this time hitting artists on the road. 2 major tours have been canceled, and it's disappointing fans and the artists themselves for, well, very different reasons.
So first up, we've got the Oasis guitarist Paul "Bonehead" Arthurs. He announced he's going to miss the Australian leg of their big reunion tour because he's getting treatment for prostate cancer. You can hear the sadness in his words, but he seems optimistic and says he plans to rejoin the band for their South American dates.
And then there's this. Stereophonics had to cancel their entire Australian tour because of a truly bizarre injury for frontman Kelly Jones, a displaced jaw joint. I mean, wow. You can just feel the frustration in his statement. For a guy who almost never cancels a show, this had to have been an incredibly tough call to make.
Okay, I know that was a lot of heavy news, but here's where the story takes a turn. Because despite all these setbacks, the engine of the music industry, it just never stops running.
You know, the resilience of music is always found in the new stuff. So let's check out some of the fresh tracks and amazing albums that dropped this week.
And man, what a fantastic mix we've got here. We've got the incredible indigenous hip-hop artist Baker Boy with his new album, a punishing new single from the thrash metal giants Megadeth, and a gritty new track from Melbourne's alt-rockers Daydreamers. There is literally something for everyone this week.
But let's zoom in on Baker Boy's new record for a sec. The album is called Dejin J, and it's not just a follow-up album. People are hailing it as a major step forward. It's an album that really sees him entering this new, more mature chapter that is so deeply rooted in his culture and his language.
And it's not just about the new music you can stream right now, it's also about the new live experiences. There's a lot to get excited about on the horizon.
Okay, this is so cool. The Pixies aren't just doing a normal tour. They're offering fans this really unique 2-night event. So the first night, they're playing 2 of their classic albums back-to-back in full. But then the second night is a completely different show with all the hits. For any longtime fan, that's just an incredible, can't-miss proposition.
And for all you indie rock fans, get this. The Grammy-winning and just endlessly charming band Wet Leg have officially announced they are coming back to Australia. They're going to be doing both headline shows and a spot at Laneway Festival. So exciting!
So, when you step back and look at everything, this week really captures the whole nature of music, doesn't it? For every legend that stumbles, for every tour that gets canceled, there are new artists rising, new albums dropping, and new shows getting announced. It's just this constant, amazing cycle of challenge and creation.
So, all of that leaves us with one final thought. In a week that gave us so much to process, from the fall of an icon to the rise of incredible new sounds, what are you choosing to listen to? What story is going to become a part of your soundtrack? Thanks for joining me.